Hi guys, since I have to be gone again today, I didn't want us to get any further behind in starting our unit. So I figured I would just do a quick mini lesson showing you some of the things that you need to work through today. And I think this will work out well because today we start talking about an issue, and so it's a lot of researching and kind of planning for next class. So we're going to pause on the grand conversation. We'll have that next time I see you on Thursday in class. So we'll kind of spend the beginning part of class on Thursday recapping the article that you read, and especially those that might be new to this hour, just kind of go over how that grand conversation will look and what the format will be. So I apologize for the mix-up, but today you'll be starting your first session in our third unit, and that's what's on the screen right now. You'll see that we're again in our argument unit, and today's lesson is all about finding evidence to form our opinions. I might have talked about this in your class, maybe not. I think one of the best parts about this whole unit is basically we're practicing to become better arguers. So I used the example in the other class period about me arguing with my mom on the phone. Sometimes she makes me so mad and I really, really try to get my point across, but I'm almost too flustered or too angry and I struggle to have a whole lot to say to her. And so think about the last time that you were in an argument with someone. Maybe it was a parent, maybe it was another teacher, maybe it's a friend, and you kind of got to the point where you were so angry or so worked up that it was difficult to actually say something that was meaningful or maybe even persuasive to the other person. So this whole unit is really built around finding evidence on both sides of an issue so that way you can be well versed when it comes time to discuss, or you happen to have a conversation or maybe even an argument with somebody, that you've kind of practiced the skill of being able to see both sides of an issue, but still having a conversation with somebody based in evidence. So you'll see that the teaching point today is that when you're taking sides in an argument, it's important to start by weighing evidence offered up by both sides, remaining open, suspending judgment so as to develop a considered opinion. And even that opinion, that position, is a preliminary one. That's a lot of fancy lingo, and it's basically just telling us that even though sometimes we have gut feelings about big issues, maybe we've heard the same things over and over from friends, maybe that's what parents or family members are talking about, but if we truly want to be well versed in an issue and we want to truly argue our point, then we need to think about both sides of an issue. So this unit is a little bit different than some of our others. We're actually going to study an issue together as a class for a couple of sessions before you start researching your own topic. And so we'll be kind of exploring the idea around competitive sports for the first couple of class periods to kind of practice the ideas and skills about researching and seeing both sides and how to successfully argue your point as like a practice round as a class, and then after a few sessions you'll have time to think of your own issue and start researching that. So you have a new document that was posted on Google Classroom, so after you're done watching this quick video you'll have a chance to kind of get going on some of the stuff I'm going to pull up here in a second. So this will be your Ben document that you'll be working on for the first couple sessions at least of this unit. And you'll see that it looks a lot like the other one that we used. There's not a whole lot of writing that you're going to be doing in this document as far as like an essay. A lot of this will just kind of be in class stuff that we do with groups or as you do for practice. You'll actually be writing your own essay in another document. So I think that this one will work a little bit better than the huge document that we used for our last unit. Okay. So if you look under session 1 here, you'll kind of see that you'll begin researching the sides of the issue for competitive sports for kids. So we're going to try to figure out the reasons and the evidence that support different viewpoints and learn about the opinions of people who think differently than you. Typically, when we hear sports, we're either like, yes, I love them, I think they're the greatest thing ever, or nope, hate them, would never want to play them. I want to really remind you to stay away from those like gut feelings or those things where your mind kind of instantly takes you to yes or no. You're not thinking personally if you like competitive sports. It's whether or not competitive sports are a good thing or a bad thing for kids. And we're specifically talking like K through 12, so young kids. We're not talking like kids in college or anything like that. So you'll see that I have a table here to get you kind of sorting through whether we've got things that belong in the pro column or the con column or this other column. Here's a little cheat sheet for you. Anything that you find today in your research that you think shows that yes, competitive sports are a positive, good thing for kids, those will go in the pro column. Anything that shows you that competitive sports might not be good for kids should go in this middle one. And this other category is just basically if something you feel like you're not quite sure where it belongs, you can put it over in this column, or if something can be a pro and a con. Okay, so if it's a little bit of both, then you can throw that piece of evidence in the other column there. This is obviously pretty small. As you start putting in evidence and things that you find in your research today, this table will probably spread between this page and the next page. But I really, really encourage you to fill it up because this will be a huge part of our next couple of sessions. So on the next page of this Done document, you'll see that there's a ton of different links for your note-taking today. I don't expect you to get through all of this, but some of it is longer articles, but a lot of them are just short video clips and really short articles as well. So don't think that this is 11 huge long articles that you need to find and read and go through. Some of them are a lot shorter. So the first one that you're going to read, I want you to focus on this first one up here, where it's titled, Listening to Wisdom from a 10-Year-Old Son About His Hand Injury. So before you even read the article or click on the link, you should be able to identify whether or not this article is going to show us positives about sports or negatives about sports. Obviously, because it's talking about a head injury and regarding a 10-year-old kid, and he's got some wisdom. If I put those things together, I'm going to assume that this article shows me the cons about competitive sports for kids. If I look at the very next one that's titled Get Off That Couch and Play, this seems to have a much more positive spin, especially because it's playing on the idea that kids are just laying around on couches and they should be outside playing. So the first one's probably going to show me more negatives. The second one is probably going to show me a few more positives. You can tell a lot as far as what the article is going to contain just by its title. Okay, something that you're going to want to pay attention to, especially if you're crunched for time today. You'll maybe want to hit certain ones, and maybe you can skip other ones if you have enough evidence. So you're going to read this first article. It's one in the New York Times, and it looks like this. Okay, what I would like you to do is read through this article, and anything as you're reading that you feel like belongs in one side of that table, you can go ahead and copy and paste right from the article into the box. Okay, so if you see that the article begins with, Dad, I'm scared. I only have one brain and I don't want to hurt it playing football. My son Will, his 10-year-old eyes filling with tears, was trying to decide whether to play quarterback in his Pee Wee game against Roosevelt Elementary. 10 days earlier, he'd taken a helmet-to-helmet hit during practice and possibly, although we don't really know, sustained a concussion. So if there's anything here that you've read already, I would probably say that a helmet-to-helmet hit during practice and possibly sustained a concussion is probably something that I want to put in this particular table. Okay? That's all I really need to do for now, because I've identified that this is from my article, it's some evidence, and it's showing me why competitive sports might be a negative for kids. Okay? So as you're reading through this article and any of the other ones listed down here, You can copy and paste or just type things into your note-taking document. I expect that this table is pretty full by the end of class today. A lot of the things that you'll see in the articles as well don't really say, hey, competitive sports are bad. I would guess if you get all the way down to the bottom of this article, the dad in this story isn't necessarily saying that sports are bad. He's just showing that they might have some negative side effects. Or by saying that my kid has a helmet-to-helmet ish hit and maybe sustained a concussion, those are all kind of leading me towards that competitive sports might not be so great. They're never going to come out and say they're bad. So another thing to keep in mind as you're poring over some of the research. Okay. So just a reminder that although you may enter this work with a gut feeling on competitive sports, that you really need to consider alternate points of view. Okay? So even if you think competitive sports are great, that doesn't mean that you get to skip reading some of these links that maybe show a negative side to it or vice versa. Okay? It's really important to have both sides of this table filled in. In a few class periods, you'll be spending a bit of time using the information from your research to prepare and defend your position in a little mini debate. Okay, so you'll have some time to kind of think about all the evidence. I will assign you to a particular side, and you will have to defend that side to your partner. So it might be a pro, but it might also be con. Okay, so make sure that your table is full on both sides. Okay. You'll then take some of this information and evidence into making a real quick flash draft of an essay, so that way you can kind of see how the research gets embedded into an argument essay. So I have a quick agenda for the class today, and this is also posted on Google Classroom, but just wanted to remind you, here we go. After you finish the video, here's your agenda. You're going to go to Classroom and open Bend 1. Here are the two class codes for anybody that's new to 2B or 3B. Okay. You're going to open to session 1. You're going to start researching the issue of competitive sports for kids. This again is just our whole class practice round argument. On the top of page 2, there's all those links surrounding the issue, and your job is to read through the articles and the news reports and put evidence either in the pro, con, or other section of the table. Make sure that you put evidence on both sides. Okay. After you've worked for a while, 10:30 for 2B and 12 o'clock for 3B, you have 5 minutes to discuss at your tables what you found. Okay, so you're only talking to the people that you're seated next to. This is meant to be just a little brain break, but also maybe a quick check-in to make sure that you and your neighbors are all kind of on the right track and that you're finding evidence on both sides. Okay. Then you can go back and maybe read the last article or watch the last newscast that you need to and continue add to your table. Again, you're going to have a mini debate in the future, so make sure that you have evidence on both sides. The last 10 minutes of class, there's an exit ticket on Classroom that will pop up. It's a Google form, so the last bit of class you can fill out that form and make sure that that's submitted in complete sentences. And be ready to talk next class. So 2B and 3B, we will be having your grand conversations on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit at the beginning of class about the article, and we'll also kind of check in on how this particular session did. But since it's a lot of independent research and finding evidence, I trust that you guys will be successful and that you'll have tons of evidence in this table next time we have class together, so we can kind of continue working forward in our units. Okay. If you have questions, you can shoot me an email. However, I won't really be able to get back to you right away, but I will do my best. Have a great class and work hard.